The Love Affair event is on at Whole Foods Market with deals on delicious desires through February 14th. The floral department's in full bloom, so look for savings on double dozen bunches of roses. In the meat and seafood departments, save on animal welfare certified New York strip steaks and sustainable wild-caught lobster tails to make the night sizzle. Gifts from the wellness and beauty department are always a nice touch. And you have to grab those chocolate-dipped strawberries. Make Whole Foods Market your Valentine's Day destination.
Earlier this week, Clever released a list ranking Houston as the worst coffee city in the nation. Now, come on, you know I'm not letting that slander slide here. So, to showcase just how dynamic and vibrant our coffee culture is in the H, I'm playing back my conversation with Houston coffee blogger Bianca Carol about her top picks from around H-Town. It's Wednesday, January 31st, 2024. I'm Raheel Ramzanali, and here's what Houston's talking about. Bianca Carol, welcome into CityCast Houston. I'm so excited to be talking with another coffee lover. Oh, I can't wait for this conversation to start. How are you?
I'm good, Raheel. Thank you so much for having me. I love coffee.
Absolutely.
It's my favorite subject, clearly.
Yeah, so you run the Instagram account at Houston Coffee Blogger. So
Yes.
You are in this world. So before we get to your recommendations, how many cups of coffee are you drinking daily?
I had to cut back probably, it used to be like 3 to 4. Now I'm trying to stay in 2. But I don't know if that's normal for the average person, but yeah, it's a lot.
That's your gimmick, though, right? You're Houston Coffee Blogger. You got to be doing at least 2 cups minimum.
Minimum,
right? That's good right there. Minimum. What's the latest time you drink your coffee?
Oh, I'm weird. I can drink it like at 9 at night and still sleep like a baby. Yeah.
Oh, I envy
I know.
you because if I drink anything after 11 a.m., I'm wired the entire night.
Yes.
I don't know why, but I love people like you who can just drink it anytime and still go to sleep and still be okay. So you get to enjoy more cups. I love that. Okay, so I'm going to start with the biggest question first is, give me your overall favorite coffee shop to grab a drink at in the city of Houston.
This is like the toughest question because I love so many. It's hard to narrow it down to one. If I'm going to say like, hey, my best friend or something, I think probably go to Blendin Coffee Club. They've been around for a while and it's always been good every time. They have like 2 locations. One in Sugarland is the original location, and the newest location is on Allen Parkway.
That place is good. And they specialize in finding the best beans from around the world.
Yeah, they roast their own
every time you go in there,
beans.
there's something unique. Yeah, and they also have that really expensive cup as well.
Yes.
I think it's like $30 if you get that
Geisha.
really good one. Yeah,
that's like the creme de la creme of like coffee because it's really expensive to produce.
Yeah, that one is so good. Okay, so Blendin is your overall favorite. I love that. So now let's get into favorite drink categories. And this is where we're going to rip through a lot of different types, right? Hot, cold, unique. So let's start with the first one. What is your favorite hot coffee drink in Houston?
So I do like just like a plain latte or espresso from Catalina Coffee on Washington. They use like a local roaster called Amaya Roasters. And every time there is just really solid. But they don't have Wi-Fi there. But I'd like just going and grabbing a drink.
Okay, perfect. All right, how about favorite iced coffee drink?
Iced coffee, I'm going to say Grinders Coffee Bar off of Kirby. But they're also sister companies with Wild Coffee. I don't know if you've heard of them.
I haven't, no.
But yeah, from Grinders, I really like their like ice cold brew, nitro cold brew.
Yeah,
really good.
That one's good. The nitro cold brew changes the game, right? Like cold brew was great, and I love cold brew, but the nitro, that foamy,
it has
like
almost like a chocolatey, kind of like a Guinness feel, but not as intense.
Yeah. And you don't have to put any kind of milk in it, in my opinion.
Right.
With the nitro cold brew, you can just drink it, maybe sweeten it up a little bit, but you don't have to add anything else because it's just so creamy and rich already.
Yes.
Okay, let's go to unique coffee drink that you recommend that we try.
Okay. Have you ever tried a siphon style coffee where it kind of looks like a chemist project.
Yeah.
I really recommend there's a siphon coffee off of West Alabama. It's just it's a unique brewing method, and it basically looks like a science project, but the way the coffee comes out is just really cool. And you need at least 2 people to finish it because it's a lot. I also like the smoked rosemary cortado from Fix Coffee Bar in Montrose because they use a torch and they actually will have a rosemary leaf and will light it and then cover the whole coffee. So when you open it, you have all the smoke that comes out, and it's just really, really good. And you don't think rosemary when you think of coffee.
So you can taste it.
Yes.
Wow. Oh, that's interesting. That's a really cool, unique drink right there.
And lastly, just rose. Anything like rose flavored, people kind of get freaked out, but I recommend a rose latte.
Yeah, so anything rose. So in the South Asian culture, rose syrup is huge.
Yes.
So I'm used to drinking
rose water. Yeah,
I love anything. Yeah, it's perfect, right? I love anything lavender.
Yes,
I think lavender is still. I know it had a big moment a couple of years ago, but to me, if there's anything lavender related, I'm getting that.
Yes,
it just hits the perfect balance of sweet, savory, and just coffee, right? Like that dark taste.
Honey and lavender go really good in coffee together.
Okay, I gotta try honey lavender. I haven't had that experience yet.
The Love Affair event is on at Whole Foods Market with deals on delicious desires through February 14th. The floral department's in full bloom, so look for savings on double dozen bunches of roses. In the meat and seafood departments, save on animal welfare certified New York strip steaks and sustainable wild-caught lobster tails to make the night sizzle. Gifts from the wellness and beauty department are always a nice touch. And you have to grab those chocolate-dipped strawberries. Make Whole Foods Market your Valentine's Day destination.
There's a big difference between talking and reporting, especially right now with a fire hose worth of news coming your way. You know what helps? Having reporters in the field. I'm Brad Milkey from ABC News, and that's what we've got on ABC's daily podcast, Start Here. Every morning, Start Here takes you across the country and around the world for a quick, smart look at the stories that matter. It's fast, it's straightforward, and sometimes, gasp, news can even be fun. So let's meet up tomorrow morning. Listen to Start Here wherever you get your podcasts.
Okay, let's do something for our friends who have a sweet tooth, right? They don't want that overwhelming coffee taste, but they want a little caffeine rush. So, they're going to order the sweeter drinks. Give me something sweet that we should order from somewhere in Houston.
I recommend Luce coffee, and I recommend the Island Latte, or called a Spanish latte. And the Island Latte specifically is it has pandan, which is like the Asian vanilla. They call it the vanilla of Asia. And it's just coconut milk, and it has other unique flavors in there that are really, really nice.
So that balances out that strong coffee flavor.
Yes.
Okay, that's a good one. Now let's go to the opposite side. How about something dark for our friends who want that really intense coffee experience?
This is really tough because with coffee shops, you would really have to ask for what is your roast profile that you're using for your beans? Because in specialty coffee shops, they really don't lean towards the darker side in terms of roasting.
Yeah. But
I know that Vietnamese coffee and Italian coffee really explore the darker roasts. So for that, I would maybe try Long Coffee and Bel Air, because they have the really good Vietnamese coffee that's just really strong and dark. And also Italian coffee, Fellini coffee and Rice Village. They really use that really, really dark blend.
Yeah, that espresso from there will hit all the dark notes you need.
Yes.
It is so good. Or you can just go to Starbucks and just get burnt coffee. I have to throw that in
there. It's like a steak that's extra well done. When you the beans can only go too far, and then they're just burnt.
Yeah, it's so crazy, right? Look, Starbucks is good in a quick fix, and you just want to pull up and get something. But when you get a normal cup from Starbucks, you're like, ooh, this is so burnt and dark, right? As opposed to that balanced. Yeah.
As somebody who used to be obsessed with it when I was younger, now I can't drink it anymore. It's just like,
Our palates are snobby now.
I know.
Yeah, it's okay.
I never thought I'd say this. I never thought I'd say this ever. Yeah.
It's all right. Palates evolve,
Yes.
right? It's all good. Okay, so one of the staples of coffee shops are breakfast items, and there's so many delicious items that you can order, whether it be a croissant, a sandwich, a muffin. Give me one place we need to try that has outstanding items that we need to order for breakfast.
I recommend Blacksmith Coffee in Montrose. They make homemade from scratch biscuits. And then they also make like good Mexican breakfast too, like chilaquiles. But the biscuits are what is the star of the show. Yeah. And they put like, you can add meat and egg and cheese and
oh wow,
just really, really good.
Okay, that's what we're going for breakfast. That sounds good right there. Okay, so now that we've got our drinks set up and we know where to go to pick up something that hits our flavor profile, the other part of coffee shops around the city of Houston is the experience and hanging out at a coffee shop. So I want to get some of your recommendations for locations. And the first one I want to start with is, where's the best place to take a date for coffee?
I would recommend Wild Coffee. They have a Montrose location, or they have a Heights location on Shepherd, because they also do like coffee themed cocktails. Well, they have a full bar, first of all. You don't have to just get like an espresso martini. You can just get a regular cocktail. But the espresso martini, though, is really, really good. So I highly recommend that. Because you can go there in the evening and it's just like a vibe. You know, if you want to go have a date for a drink, they full service bar and coffee in the morning.
Oh, that's cool. Just don't, I mean, I don't know. Look, if you want to order an espresso martini in the morning,
I mean, whatever.
Yeah. Right? Look, hey, man. Judgment-free zone, right, Bianca?
Somewhere, yeah.
Yeah. Another great thing about coffee shops is that you can post up and get a lot of work done, maybe study for a final if you're a student, but some places aren't built for that. So give me a place that is a good study/work spot.
I would recommend Brass Tacks in Edo. So they have just like a big, wide space. And then they also have like little like nooks for if you want to like go in there and study or something like that. And just the space in general is just really big. And there's a lot of students always there too studying.
Nice. Mm-hmm. That's a cool one. That's a good place to post up there. And they got good Wi-Fi, right? You got to have some good Wi-Fi. Yeah, you have to. If you're studying and working, you need that Wi-Fi. Okay. How about a good spot to meet with some friends or maybe even network and just be out, right? Like feel in a social setting. What's a good spot for us?
I recommend Segundo Coffee Lab in Edo. They have their spot, and then they also have it's connected to like also like some artisan shops. And there's just always just a bunch of people there. For their sitting area is also in front of the shops too. So yeah, and then it's just like a big space. It was I think that building was like an old, like a Maxwell coffee house.
Oh, nice. So you still have the history of coffee there, and it's a lot of room. That's the big thing. All right, Bianca, those are some great recommendations. I can't wait to check out all of these shops that I haven't been to yet. Now, you run an awesome account. Like I mentioned, everyone needs to go follow you at Houston Coffee Blogger. So is there anything else that you want to hit on with the coffee game here in the city of Houston that our listeners should know about?
I just want to maybe say that if you're out and about and you want coffee, just really don't try to go to Starbucks. I know everyone wants to go there, but if you want to, type in your Google Maps, like coffee shop, and just give it a try, because you would be surprised that, you know, it can taste better because it's locally sourced, and you'll probably not go to Starbucks after that, but maybe you would, but I don't know. Just, I think it tastes better, fresher, and then you're also supporting local Houston businesses.
Absolutely. I love that. That's a great way to end the interview. And thank you again for all these awesome recommendations. I can't wait to try them out. Like I mentioned earlier, I already made my list. And again, all the places that you've talked about, they are in our show notes. So we hope to see you around there. Bianca, thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me, Raheel.
That was Bianca Carol. You can follow her coffee adventures on Instagram at Houston Coffee Blogger. And while you're there on Instagram, send me pictures from your favorite coffee spots around town to our Instagram at CityCast Houston. That will do it for today. Thank you for listening, and I hope you learned something new. Okay, that's I was like, man, did I hear it or not? That was me, my bad.